What's up, Sam fam? It is your girl Sammy, and we are back with another video. I'm so excited about this video. I finally have time to actually sit down and do it. I was gonna do it the other day, but y'all, I told you guys like in my last vlog that I was sick. And I'm still like a little bit under the weather, but we getting through it. So today I am going to tell my psoriasis story. The reason why I wanted to make this video is because I remember when I first, well, not really first started having symptoms, but when I first experienced like really bad symptoms and really bad flare-ups, I was looking on YouTube and I was looking on TikTok and all this kind of stuff, looking for videos, people's stories, what it looked like, all of those kind of things, and I could not find it. And I said I wanted to tell my story so people that do have it or experience, they'll have something to reference or just to hear some insight and things like that. Let's get on started. So I was formerly diagnosed, like actually diagnosed with psoriasis in 2024, formally, like on paper, like diagnosis. I got a skin test done, everything like that. How long have I been dealing with symptoms and flare-ups and stuff like that? It's been years before we even knew what it was. So just a little backstory. My first experience with psoriasis, or what they thought at the time was eczema or eczema. I know some people say it a little different. Eczema. I was probably like 6 or 7. It started on my thighs. Started like a little red patch. At first, it kind of mimicked ringworm. Like it looked really red. It all the time like produced its own type of oil or substance. I really don't know what it was. Then my mother took me to the doctors. They just told her to use hydrocortisone and it should go away. The main spots that I would experience when I was a kid was my neck and my thighs. It wasn't until middle school age that it really started to raise a concern because, you know, in elementary school, you don't really change your clothes and all that kind of stuff in school at that age. It wasn't until middle school when I started to have to change for like gym. And we used to wear really short shorts, and I'm a big girl. I've always been a plush pal, you know, thickums. So when I used to have to change my clothes in gym, you could see like the scars and stuff. It also mimicked like the color or the shape of like severe burns as well. So in middle school with my teachers seeing it, they raised the concern like, is something going on that you're not telling us, or is it something going on at home? And so when they pressed the issue to my mother took me to the emergency room immediately, because at that point it really did start to progress and look weird, very, very different, very concerning. And the school started asking questions. And so my mother went to the emergency room, and this is probably like 6th or 7th grade. And they told her, believe it or not, they told her to mix Monostat and hydrocortisone together and lay it on my skin, like lather it up. And it burned a little bit, you know, it really didn't help, but it was just like something else to do. So for years, that's what we were doing: Monostat, hydrocortisone, and Vaseline. Vaseline helped a whole lot because Vaseline is very thick. You can lay it on as like an even spread of it, and it would take some of the pain away, and it would really stop that friction from your clothes rubbing up against your skin. I'm a thick girl and I had it all over my thighs, so my thighs rubbing up against each other did not help it at all. And for real, honestly, from those age, middle school, high school, all the way up until adulthood, it really bothered me, but it was just something like, it's not that bad. It doesn't get on my nerves enough for me to raise a big concern. I don't have a story of like it hindered me from doing certain things, of like, I know some people say like when they had it in school they couldn't date or anything like that. I never had an experience like that. I guess I just have that built confidence in me because I've always been a bigger girl. People are gonna talk about me anyway, you know. Um, so I never that thing of letting certain things about me that I can and can't control hinder me from dating or talking to certain people or experiencing certain experiences. I never had that kind of situation. So anybody that I was anything like active with or anything like that, they never made me feel bad about myself. Like they just, you know, accept it for what it is. And yeah, so I basically didn't have any issues with it. Realistically, just it was a little annoying just always having to like I couldn't use like Bath and Body Works and stuff like that because I was using Vaseline to moisturize because that was the only thing that made me feel better. When I put on like a lot of lotions, Victoria's Secret, Bath and Body Works, all that kind of stuff, it would literally burn my skin up and it would like hurt really bad. So I think that was the most thing that was annoying. Is like all the girls are like shaving and waxing and you know putting all this va va voom stuff you know on. I couldn't have that experience, but it was like you know what can you do? You live and you learn. 2022, I started seeing a difference. I started breaking out a lot. I started seeing patches everywhere, and it got uncontrollable. Thank God during this time I was working from home. I think that's the blessing about it. When I was going through this, I didn't have to go in the office. I didn't have to do anything like that. I was working from home. So I got tired of dealing with it. My husband was like, I'm talking about glazing me up like a donut with Vaseline every day. It got tiring. It got exhausting. I could barely walk. I mean, my feet were, I was always just burning all the time from top to bottom, just burning. It was like a burning sensation. It was really painful. When it would clear up, it was just, it would hurt all the time. So I ended up going to my primary care. The first dermatologist he sent me to, she told me it was all fungus, and that was really weird. He did not like that whole interaction with her, so he said, I'm going to outsource. Found a dermatologist 45 minutes away from my home. I didn't care about the ride. I didn't care. At this point, I did not care about nothing. I just wanted some help. Went to the dermatologist. My very first appointment, she put me on 3 different prescriptions, and she also did a skin biopsy. She took a piece of skin out my back. I had about 4 stitches, and she sent it off for lab. The first appointment, she put me on triamcinolone. It's like a gel cream, comes in a tub. It kind of looks like Vaseline. I'm going to show you guys exactly what it looks like. Also, she put me on, oh, by the way, my primary care doctor put me on a topical cream called mometasone. It's not really safe to be on it for a long period of time. I have not been taking that at all because of my body became addicted to it. So I did go through a little bit of withdrawals that really set me back. And that was not fun at all. So I'm happy it didn't do too much damage to me, because I have seen a lot of stories of women and men going through withdrawal syndromes from the drugs that you're trying to fix one issue that your body ends up getting addicted to it, and when you stop it, it can actually set you back. I've had 2 biopsies. The first one came up with eczema, and so they were like, oh, it's eczema, okay. So because it was supposedly eczema, they decided to put me on Dupixent. I was on Dupixent for 8 months. Of course, when you take the first dose, it's 2 loading doses, and then you take it every other week. I was on it for 8 months, seeing no difference at all. It didn't do anything. I was having flare-ups back to back. I'm talking about probably more often than I was before. And it was not fun. So we went back to the dermatologist, like, listen, the Dupixent is not working. We got to try something else. Because at this point, and when I say my life was changing, one of the main reasons a lot of people be like, you used to do YouTube and stuff like that all the time. I stopped doing YouTube like last year and year before that. I stopped doing YouTube so bad because I barely could even sit down. Like, I was literally working from my bed, like on the computer, on the phone, all that kind of stuff. I was working and everything from my bed. The only place I did not have flare ups was my private areas, realistically. And even then, it was still very hard for me to do a lot of things. And that's why I say I thank God for my husband, because he didn't hold none of that against me. He wasn't like on my back, like, oh my God, this is not what I signed up for, or anything like that. He was very supportive, baby. We was in the bathroom. He would help me shower. He would put on my medicine. Like, he did not care. He just wanted the best for me. So I tell people all the time, when you get married, them vows say for better, for worse, through sickness and health, is very true. And it can come at any time, okay? So go back to the doctor. We stopped at Dupixent. She also recommended me to the head of dermatology, because she was like, listen, I don't know. We did a biopsy and I felt like I'm not doing everything I can for you. So I want to send you to the head of dermatology. So the head of dermatology for university, she doesn't really take cases anymore. She's, years of experience. You get that point. You got a lot of students and stuff like that. But she heard my case, and she felt really bad for me. So she ended up taking me on. I got an appointment as soon as possible with her. And she was saying that over the 40 years she had been doing it, there is different medications that they've seen that can fix these kind of things. So the first thing she put me on was a oral medication called methotrexate. And so methotrexate, from what I gather, is actually used for a lot of different things. People that have arthritis, all that kind of stuff. So with the methotrexate, I started taking 3 tablets first. And then folic acid, because methotrexate really messes up your stomach. So with the folic acid, you take it every day, and the one day that you take your methotrexate, literally, is supposed to stop you from being so nauseated, which I have acid reflux, so methotrexate did me in, yo. I ain't gonna lie. But believe it or not, the first couple of weeks we started seeing changes. Like, I stopped having so many flare-ups. The old one started to like heal slowly. And I was like, me and my husband was excited, like, oh my God, finally. Like, it's working. Like, we were so excited. We're like, oh my God, something is actually working. Like, oh snap, like, it's for real. And so, still taking the topical creams and all that kind of stuff, but we actually had a medication that was actually working. So from there, she wanted to increase it. So we started from taking 3 tablets to 6. And the weird thing about it was, it ended up backtracking. I was like, well, wait a minute. If I'm taking more, don't you think that would kick it in high gear to get better? And they were just like, sometimes with medications, they do weird things. And her idea, realistically, she told me from the beginning, I'm not going to stop at medication. I really think that your situation is so severe that you need to be on an injectable. Like, I don't think an oral medication is ever going to be enough for you. And so the methotrexate stopped working. And we backslid. It was like basically back into the same exact situation. So the third time I went, well, this is like maybe the 5th or 6th time I went in, she had another doctor come in with her that is well experienced as well. She told me the high risk of staying on methotrexate, because like you said, we could stay on it to see if maybe the 6 tablets will work maybe in 2 or 3 months down the line and change it then. But when they were telling me all the high risk of being on that medication for such a long period of time, they felt like an injectable would be better to go back on, not Dupixent, because Dupixent did not work. So we decided to go back on injectable. The new injectable that I am taking now, and actively, presently, like today, I'm still on this. The new treatment is called Skyrizi. With Dupixent, you take it every other week. I was taking it every other week. With Skyrizi, you take it every 8 to 12 weeks. So the first time I took it, I took the first dose in June. 30 days later, I took my second dose. And then September, I took another dose. And now today that I'm shooting this video, I'm going to be taking my fourth dose. And y'all, believe it or not, I'm not going to say I don't have psoriasis anymore because maybe I still got it. But it feels like I don't have psoriasis anymore. My scalp is better. My face is better. I used to break out really bad around my nose, my body, my chest. Like, you guys can see the old scars. This is what it looks like now. I'm happy I wore the shirt so I can show y'all. But do you see like this part right here where it's like darker here, but it's getting light? This is where I used to get patches all here. Don't mind the stretch small show. I'm a plush pal, okay? But if you see the dark and the light parts, like how my regular skin is a little light, but here is like really, really dark. I had this all down my breasts, on my back, everywhere. That is what my skin looks like. The scars are still there from the flare-ups. They're, like the doctor told me, it's not really much you can really do besides like cocoa butter. I've used, what do you call it, bio oil or something like that. I've used that too. Nothing really takes the scarring away, but I really don't give two F's about the scar. By the way, my hair has always been an issue since I was a little girl. I always seen a difference in my sister's hair and my hair. Like when my mother used to have to do my hair all the time, she always would either grease it extra or she would take like a small wire tooth comb or like a rat tail comb and always scratch my scalp all the time because it would always be full of like dandruff and thick patches. But we really didn't know what it was. The dermatologist that we did have told my mother to wash my hair 3 times a week. And that was very hard for me because I had really thick hair. At the time, my mother was still perming my hair. So imagine trying to wash my perm. And most times you get a perm like, what, 8 to 12 weeks or something like that? I don't remember. It's been so many years since I've had a perm. But imagine washing my hair 3 times a week and still trying to maintain my perm and keep my hair straight and all that kind of stuff. And that was a lot. We tried Head and Shoulders. That really didn't work. My mother started using Suffer 8, and I still use it sometimes. But right now, with the dermatologist that I have now, we do use actually like 2 shampoos, and we have like an oil base. That's really good. Like when I want to wash my hair, I put the oil in my scalp first and let it sit. The longest you can let it sit is overnight. I always say it's better to use it overnight because it really penetrates that scalp and just moisturize it and makes everything, any flakes or anything, really, really soft. And then when you go to wash your scalp, it comes right out. You don't really have to like scratch your scalp and do all that kind of stuff because realistically, I found my hair thinning out from scratching it all the time, getting scalp scrubs that overly like gives a lot of scratching and things to your scalp. I seen the front of my hairline thinning a lot from that, and maybe in the last 8, maybe 9 months since I'm on the treatment I'm on now, and I haven't been having so many flare-ups, my hairline and things like that have came back. Also, in reference to hair, I've been using Sacred. I know a lot of people say, oh, because Beyonce says she has psoriasis, now everybody got it. No, baby, I really got it. And I will say I have seen a difference with using the Restoration hair drops from Sacred. They definitely helped in the spots that I was thinning at, because when I would have a flare-up, the front of my head would flare up really bad. Like, it would be so bad. I could get my hair done today, tie my hair up, go to sleep. The next day, I would have patches, like dry patches all around my scalp. And it's like, I just got my hair done last night, you know? And I would literally have to either put some oil on it or something like that just to make it look, you know, like I just paid $200 or $300 to get my hair done. So from there, I started trying to find things to help grow my hairline back, because from scratching it so much, I was pulling my hair out. I was causing a lot of breakage from trying to get flakes out my scalp so bad from scratching it. With the sacred hair drops, that definitely restored it. I use Kaleidoscope to help keep my hair growing. The sacred hair restoration drops to help, get that growth back. I also have been using Black Girl vitamins. The hair, nail, and skin vitamin, that is amazing for your hair, nails, and skin. I definitely see the difference. I've been taking that since July, and it's amazing. I have it on reorder, like it automatically comes down, because I definitely see a difference. And I take a couple of more of their vitamins as well. If you guys want to know a little details about the vitamins that I take from Black Girl Vitamins, just let me know in the comment section down below, and I will definitely do a detailed video on that. But that has definitely been really crucial. I tried the Kaleidoscope hair gummies. I didn't really see a big difference with that. Just the actual hair drops, that has grown my hair. But the Black Girl hair vitamins, they definitely have helped, with restoring my hair, because y'all, I have not really washed my hair in like 2 weeks, and I haven't put no extra heat on it. I just go get it treated every now and then to get somebody to cut my ends, because I don't want to cut my ends because I don't know how to. But other than that, y'all, I have not washed my hair in 2 weeks, and the scalp looks really good. Like, you don't see any patches in the front. It's not overly dry. I have been oiling it every day. Like, it's been really good. So I will say the treatment and applying a lot of those items from such businesses have definitely helped restore my scalp and my hair is being as healthy as possible. This summer, y'all, let me tell y'all about a celebratory moment. I was so freaking happy. So this year we celebrated 3 years of being married. Excuse me, y'all. I was so ecstatic to be able to wear flip-flops. The last 2 summers, I did not wear any flip-flops because my feet was so inflamed and so like it was peeling like every other day. It would heal, peel, and re-flare up. Due to that, I did not wear any sandals. No, nothing. I was just wearing socks, tennis, Crocs, foam runners. Yo, I got foam runners in every color just because, I mean, if I was going to be stuck in this little situation, baby, I was going to be cute at least. We're going to make something out of nothing either way. Some people like, girl, that's not a big thing. But for me, that was a big thing. Being able to shower, get dressed, wear socks, and it's not hurting my feet. That's the kind of stuff I'm over here celebrating, okay? I only got the full diagnosis when I got to the new dermatologist, which is the head of dermatology at University of Maryland. She did her own biopsy. She actually cut a lot more skin than the first one, and she sent it off for several testing, and it came back with psoriasis. Also, I was telling her about how even when the skin does heal, I still have a lot of pain. And she was like, is it like more so when like it's inflamed, or is it like when it's healed or peeling? And I told her like it could just be like the scars there, and it still is very painful. So she referred me to a rheumatologist. I just wanted to make sure I said it right, y'all. She referred me to a rheumatologist because psoriasis can do a lot of stuff to you, baby, okay? The rheumatologist did their testing, and I have what they call, and I might be saying it wrong, but it's called psoriatic arthritis. I have it really bad in my hands and my feet, and I have it really bad in my hips. So what tends to happen is, like, once you notice that your skin has healed and you're not having an active flare-up, and it's just like, it might be a little darker than your other parts of your skin, but it's just like no active flare-up, but you're still in a lot of pain, it could be caused by psoriatic arthritis. So it can actually mess with, your bones internally. So because of that, the best solution for me was to go on Skyrizi, because the rheumatologist and the dermatologist both prescribe Skyrizi for psoriatic arthritis, and I might be saying that wrong, and psoriasis. So the shot works hand in hand for both issues. And realistically, y'all, Now, even with my skin completely healed up and looking better, I still don't have pain in those places. So I do see the rheumatologist every now, because I'm on an active shot, I see her every 3 months. We see dermatology every 3 months. I used to see them every 3 weeks. So I'm happy that I moved down a notch where I don't have to see them basically every month now. Not just see them every 3 months. And as long as the shot is still working, we'll tweak certain things, but it's been pretty good. The only creams or anything that I'm still on is the triamcinolone. These words are big, yo, but I want to tell y'all what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I'm only on the triamcinolone. No mometazone, nothing like that. We stopped all of that, and all the withdrawal syndromes that I went through, were it was bad, but I had to go through them to get them out my system. So my back has a lot of scarring from the withdrawal syndrome, but Tylenol, pain patches, stuff like that, I got through that pretty good. So I'm happy that did not go as bad as it could have. And I didn't have anything in my hair or my scalp or anything. So with all that being said, I did formally get diagnosed in 2024 with full-fledged psoriasis and psoriatic arthritis. So that is realistically my story and where I'm at right now. Just recovering and taking one day at a time. Do I still have flare-ups now? Not as often as I used to. I have one little one going on right now on my left side of my foot, but it's not really bad. I put some cream on that, and I really think the only reason why I'm having that flare-up is because my last shot was in September. My new dose actually came today. Well, it came yesterday, so I'm taking it today. So closer to the time when it's time for your next maintenance dose, that's when you'll start seeing a flare up here and there, but they're not bad. They're really bearable. So I'll take that 10 times over. It's been about 3 months since my last shot, so I'm definitely due for my maintenance dose. So this is ghetto, but it is what it is. So this is actually the triamcinolone. This is what it looks like, and I don't want to show y'all. Oh, it looks pretty clean. Sometimes with stuff, it be getting stuff in it. So this is what it looks like. It looks like Vaseline. It has a Vaseline-y kind of smell. No difference. But I put it in this big tub because sometimes, lately now that because I don't have as many flare-ups, sometimes my prescription comes quicker than what I use it up now. Thank God. That's a blessing, y'all, because it used to be by the time the prescription come, I'm already ran out and I'm suffering. So this is a blessing. So now what I do is I just put it in this big tub. When I get the new tubs, I just put them all in the same tub, and I just take it from here when I need it. I still use this, every other day or so, maybe twice a week or something. If you guys do want an updated body care routine video, I know years ago I did one, but my body care, maintenance care, shower routine, all that kind of stuff has changed 10 times because of my skin condition. A lot of stuff that I used to use back then, I cannot use anymore, but I always smell good. I always get compliments, so I smell good. And, I look good and all that kind of stuff. So if you guys do want an updated routine, just comment down below and I'll be more than happy to make that video for you. The shampoo that I use, I'm trying to make sure you guys can see the name of it. I'm going to pop it up on the screen. But this is the shampoo. It comes in this little bottle. It actually comes with a lot more packaging on it, but I've been using this. It's like a red color, orangey color consistency. Hope you guys can see down in the bottom. But it's like a reddish color. Doesn't really smell like anything. It doesn't smell anything. This is not the shampoo for you to wash your head, go outside and blowing it in the wind like it's gonna smell good. It ain't doing none of that. So most time I use that shampoo maybe twice just to give myself a good wash if my scalp has been doing what it does. And then I might hit it with some Sacred, or I might hit it with some Kaleidoscope. Something that's hydrating, gonna help retain length, help retain moisture and stuff like that. But and again, I only use this shampoo when I feel like my scalp really, really needs it. The oil that I use, I don't have the big bottle of it because the other bottle I had put inside of another one. But y'all, I found something out about my ears and psoriasis. So, do y'all remember back in October when I had to go to the emergency room 2 days before Breezy Bowl because my ears swelled up? Y'all, I went to the ENT doctor and I actually found out that psoriasis is what's causing my ears to swell up. Okay. So what happens is my inside of my ears can get really, really dry. And I'm not talking about like the upper parts. I'm talking about in the ear canal. And so when I have a flare up, I get them in my ears. And what do when you have psoriasis or anything like that? You scratch. They itch. I'm itching and scratching. I'm going to go get my hair washed. I'm going to go clean my ears, all that kind of stuff. And it's making me prone to ear infections more often than normal. So what did they prescribe? The scalp oil that I put in my hair, they prescribed it for my ears. They just gave it to me, a little bottle. So this is the same scalp oil that I use in my hair. I use it in my ears now too. And they just gave it to me in a little droplet. I'm going to pop the name of it up on the screen. But literally, I just put this in my ears like maybe every other day. And I take my finger like really softly and just rub it in. And I have not had any problems with my ears ever since. Never knew this. Something new. I went to the ENT doctor because I was so nervous. Like, what's going on? I have not had no ear pain. My ears have been extra, extra clean. Psoriasis. Tea, ain't it? So this comes from, I actually got this from the company Skyrizi. They sent it to me to keep my needles in. My needle is not like a loading needle, like where you had to really load the needle up with the amount of medications and all that. It's not really more like, the only needles I've seen like this, people like take insulin and stuff. It's not that kind, and I'm going to show you guys in a minute. But this is good to have just so that you can dispose your needles. I don't care if it's just like a disposable pen or a regular needle. It's really good to have these in your house if you're on anything. If you're on weight loss shots like Ozempic, all that kind of stuff, insulin, it's good to have these just to make sure it's safe. And yeah, you just put it up in there and you close it and it keeps everything safe and clean. And you don't have to worry about any kids getting into it. I actually leave it inside of my closet all the way up in the top so that nobody gets to it until I'm ready to dispose it and everything like that. On to the shot. Now we get into the good stuff. This is how it comes. Actually, I'm lying. This is not how the medication comes. So if you're on, and this is just going for anybody that's like on insulin, Dupixent was shipped the same way. Skyrizi shipped the same way. This is, yeah, it's cold enough. So one, you're not supposed to inject the shot when it's cold. You should let it get room temperature a little bit. Normally when I first got it from a specialty pharmacy, they were sitting in these big old coolers. I used to have coolers stacked up crazy. And then when I was getting Dupixent, I would get 2 doses at a time, so I don't have to worry about trying to get the next dose in time enough. Now, because again, I only take this every 3 months or so, I only get 1 pen, and it's on auto refill. So literally, when they know my dose is coming up, they literally just automatically refill it like maybe 2 or 3 days, and they deliver it right to the front door. Now my prescription actually comes through Amazon Pharmacy. They still ship it on ice as well. I have a refrigerator, of course the house refrigerator, but I also have a separate refrigerator just because I'm a little finicky about medication and food. So I keep it in my separate refrigerator upstairs. That's in the secondary or third bedroom or whatever. I keep it upstairs away from everything else. I have nieces, and she's elementary school age. My oldest nephew, stuff like that. They come over the house, they go in the refrigerator. I don't want them to go in and think this is a toy. So I keep it in a separate refrigerator that nobody goes into or touches, and just to make sure it's safe and sound. So this is what it looks like. Dupixent looks kind of like the same way. And it gives you the directions at the top, how to inject it. I've injected a couple times myself, so I'm kind of used to it, how to do it. And I'm actually going to do it right now because I need to take a shot. I get these little alcohol prep pads. I use these for a lot of different things. When I want to do my press-ons at home, all kinds of stuff. They come with like 100 of them in a pack. I get them from Walmart. Really useful. And so I just set myself up. So normally, I'm a little finicky. I don't have the balls enough to shoot myself in the arms or the thighs. So I always do it in my stomach. I'm not going to show you guys exactly how I do it in my stomach. First things first is I take a alcohol prep pad. I actually clean my whole stomach because I have to figure out where I want to inject myself. So it's just better just to clean the whole surface. You're supposed to do like one fist away from your belly button. You don't want to put it too close. And I really feel like a lot of people that take like what do you call it? Like those Tricipatides and like Ozempic and stuff like that. They're pretty familiar with it as well. And they go through the same thing. So you don't want to inject it too close to the stomach or too close to your belly button or anything like that. Normally I pick my right or left side of my stomach. When I was taking Dupixent, I did the same thing, right or left side. And because I was taking Dupixent basically like twice a month, every other week, I would actually alternate. So if I did the right side this time, the next time I would do the left. If I did the left side this time, the next time I would do the right. Because I only take Skyrizi every 3 months, it really don't make a difference because by the time I do the third or fourth, whenever I do the next dose, it's be 3 months in between it. So it's like, does it really matter? Not really. So I'm going to take it out the package. The pen for this one is actually a lot bigger than the Dupixent, but they're all made the same. They have the cap, the window where the medication is, make sure it's cold and everything like that, the button, and then, you know, it's just, everything is really standard. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. So I have my stomach already cleaned off. I've already wiped my fingers off with my alcohol. I'm gonna open up another alcohol pad and just get it prepared for afterwards. I don't really bleed. I noticed that with Dupixent, I didn't really bleed a lot at all. So normally I just wipe it off with some alcohol and I don't really need a bandage or anything like that. So this time I'm going to do it on my left side. You take the cap off. Boom. Just hold your stomach a little bit just to create that raised type of effect. And I'm going to put it right here so I can see the window. The window of the medication, like the clear window, should be facing you. So you can see the medicine go in just to make sure everything is done correctly. And then I'm going to press it against my skin. I'm going to press the green button. You'll hear it. That's the first click. You'll see the medication move. And that was the second click. Done. I'm going to put the cap back on. And then the little container that I have, I'm going to open it up. Expose it right in there. Close the cap. That's that. I got a little pinch of blood. So I'm going to clean her off. Bada bing, bada boom. Done, done, and done. And so that's it for the box. You can get rid of it because every single time you get your injection in the mail, it will come in. All right, you guys. So that is it for everything with my psoriasis story. We talked about it. We talked about some facts, spit some knowledge, all that kind of stuff. I also got a chance to show you my actual shot intake and how that goes and everything like that. I hope you guys enjoyed this full detailed sit down video. If you guys have any questions regarding anything skin related with my story or psoriasis or anything like that, or if you guys have any questions about my shot that I'm on right now, definitely comment down below, or you guys can hit me on my social medias. They will be in the description box below. Of course, make sure you comment, like, and share, and subscribe to the channel and join the family. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.